Yeah.
I don't know if we
Lots
want to
of.
do two next week. Or you want to do another solo? Because I'm going to be in Missouri, not next week, but the week after.
I don't know. I could probably do a solo.
Okay.
I'm not a whiny girl like you.
I'm not doing two solos at once.
You're not. You said you're not going to do a solo ever again because you don't like computers.
I don't like computers.
I'm not doing this again.
Fuck this. It's bullshit.
That was great. It's like, well, I'm using this. It was great too because the way it ended and everything. What did you write a script? Can you read it? No, I didn't write a fuck beep. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you realize this, but Kevin has anger management problems.
I do have anger management problems.
Just ask the guy who kept prodding him until he blew up at him. See? You're angry. Hello, America. It's time to check the nonsense at the door, clear the cobwebs between your ears, and have a rational-ish conversation. This is the lost art of common sense. That's right, America. I'm Josh.
And I'm Kevin.
And this is the lost art of common sense. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about a few things, mostly the reaction that we've been seeing over the last 2 weeks of the Israel-Hamas war, and as well as when we were filming this, the presidential address that Biden did. So we'll get right into it for the hard-hitting news. Kevin, give our listeners a quick rundown of the response to the Israel-Hamas war from all sides.
It's been a little mixed. I think for the most part, most people are pro-Israel, basically because, Israel didn't kill a bunch of women and children. But, I mean, you got your people on MSNBC that are pretty pro-Palestine and pro-Hamas. So, trying to blame Israel for all of this. And obviously there's been Palestinian riots, or not riots, but like whatever, pro-Palestine rallies and throughout the country. A lot of colleges, the birthplace of socialism and everything horrible on the left. They have been pro-Palestine, which again, I don't understand why the left is so pro-Hamas, because they would die immediately there. It's been very telling on the people who actually care about life and who aren't anti-Semites. It's
and the people that are paper shills that just do whatever they for money.
And I don't even know if the people on MSNBC, I don't know if they believe the shit they're saying or if they're just saying it because that's what their base wants to hear. That's what, MSNBC isn't very popular anyways, I don't think. I think it's one of the last ones in the ratings for news channels, but
I'm not 100% sure how these like MSNBC, CNN, how they stay in business.
I don't know. I think they have rich donors, probably. Pfizer gives them a bunch of money.
Well, yeah, I guess every single fucking commercial brought to you by Pfizer.
Yeah, so I mean, they give them a ton of money. So I mean, it's really telling all that. There's a lot of anti-Semitism going on, and there's a little bit of Palestinian, anti-Arab, anti-Muslim going on as well, but it's not as prolific as the anti-Semitism that's going on. It's been weird, I guess. I guess I wouldn't have guessed there was this much support for Hamas and what they did to Israel. I just would never have guessed it. And it is very shocking, to say the least.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that.
I mean, what do you think about all these, even people on CNN, MSNBC, I mean, Fox News has been pretty pro-Israel. I think they've had some guests that are pro, Palestine. But
they're making some kind of, what they do is they come on and say what Hamas did was horrible, but the Palestinian people have nothing to do with this. Like what we said, they could have been threatened with death or whatever, but, Hamas was elected. They're there. And they say that, I think there is, I don't know, there's so many different polls, and it's like you're going to get accurate polling out of the Gaza Strip, but there's a decent amount of people, at least before this happened, that supported Hamas,
Yes.
Palestinians.
Oh yeah.
So it's not like they're like, oh no, but you never know. They might say that because they might be murdered. So I don't know. They cloud and milk up the water enough to where, it's like, well, I don't know. But like, it's weird because it's not just being pro Palestinian. Like, they're being pro Palestinian while, like, being anti Semites because they're blaming Israel on what's happening. Israel is not at fault for what's happening. Hamas is. So if you're mad about what's happened to Palestinians, you might want to get on the phone and say, Hamas, you're dicks. Stop it.
What I hear a lot is equal retribution. So basically, what they're saying is, Israel shouldn't go overboard. But what is equal retribution? I mean, how do you quantify 1,200 Jewish people murdered in their houses and at a music festival, children and women? These weren't like this wasn't collateral damage people. This was sought after for eradication of any Jew. So, I mean, what's equal retribution? I think equal retribution is wipe Hamas off the face of the planet. That would be my equal retribution. So this can't happen again. If, like I think we said last week, if Israel just, they go, they bomb a few places and, basically kill a few people in Hamas, then sign a peace treaty, this is going to happen again. So you got to make it to where it won't happen again. Put the fear of God in them.
Yeah. I think that is the only. And people are like, well, you got to do it. If they could magically have every member of Hamas's head explode, I'm sure they would do it. But the fact is, like you were saying, this shit goes back and forth all the time. So it's like, they've never stopped firing rockets into Israel ever. It's just they have the Iron Dome, shoots them down, not a big deal. The ones that get missed generally fall in the field somewhere. But it goes on, and then they escalated it to and I said air, sea, and water, or air, sea, and sky last week.
Yeah.
Land, sea, and air attack, and they just came in and murdered their citizens indiscriminately. So yeah, the only proper response, if you give a shit about the citizens of your country, unlike our president and the left, is to eradicate those people, because it's not like a populist movement. It's not anything. It's a religious movement on their part, and their religion and their minds tell them that Israel and Israelis have to be wiped off the planet. So if you have someone like that it acts like that and does, attacks, your only recourse is to wipe them off the face of the earth. And the only way to do that is to go in and do it. And yes, sadly, because for whatever reason, nobody in that area wants Palestinians. None of them.
No.
Like, they're having a barter with Egypt to open up their border.
Well, that's because they can't tell who's a Palestinian and who's part of Hamas. Who's a jihadist for Hamas, and that's the problem. Is they don't want to allow those people and escalate this thing any further. I mean, obviously, like Lebanon, Iran, they don't give a shit. But I mean, there's countries like Egypt, Jordan that will not accept them, and I don't know if are we accepting Palestinian?
I hope not. I'm sure we will.
I'm sure we will. I mean, all they got to do is go through the southern border anyway, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, so like what I see yesterday, like I saw it from Jeremy Boring, who's the CEO of Daily Wire.
Oh, that guy's so boring.
Yeah, he was on Piers Morgan, and basically he said since World War II, America has not gone into a war wanting to finish a war. Basically, what we do is we fight a war, and all of a sudden the population turns against you, and starts turning against you, and all of a sudden we had to back off. There's never an end goal anymore. It's not to wipe anybody out.
That's the whole purpose of war. You don't
know what you're doing there.
And yeah, that's our problem.
And that's the same way we're treating this Ukraine war. Is we're giving them all this money and all these weapons, and we're not like, hey, this is how we want this to finish, either with peace accords, or Russia out. You give Russia something, or whatever. There's got to be an end goal somewhere, and there never is.
Well, that's just it. No one's marking a line with Ukraine to where it's like, okay, are we going to give Russia any territory? Do we want them out? Okay, so once you have an established goal, then you can say, because I can't see Ukraine driving Russia back out of Ukraine on their own.
No,
I can't see it happening. But and then
but there's
so if
nothing.
well, and that's just it. Here's a weird thing. So we're like egging on conflict in Ukraine because we're not doing anything to stop it. We're not trying to call a ceasefire for peace talks or whatever. We're just egging on the fight. And then as soon as is Israel's like, you know what? Fuck you. We're coming in after you. Then everyone's like, oh no, peace, ceasefire, blah blah blah. And that's just not the way it works over there. Like, there are two reasons to go to war. One, you're attacking someone because you want something they have, i.e., the bad guys. And two, you're trying to stop those people. And for too long, we've never gotten in a war since World War II, like you said, where that is our goal.
You forgot reason number 3:
What's that?
to make people rich.
Well, you get that in war. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's just part of war.
If you make it last as long as possible.
Well, I think that's the reason why we don't go in, because you can't tell me the United States government and our military, not the government, government's useless, but our military couldn't go in and basically defeat, and I would include China in this, any country on the planet in a month, to where I'm talking World War II style, not nukes, but World War II style war, fuck them up, you're done. With the technology and the weaponry we have, you tell me we couldn't end a war?
Absolutely.
But that would save money.
And I can tell you what.
And arguably lives.
And the problem is, there are going to be civilian casualties. It's just going to happen. It's just something that happens in war. And people just
do we ever get those numbers in World War II?
Civilian casualties?
Yeah, I mean, there's those kind of, I guarantee you, like, shit tons of civilians died in World War II. I mean, were the 20 million Russians that died in World War II, were those all military people? Or were those Russian civilians?
I don't know if it's going to be, like, the numbers are going to be, skewed because of official casualty source estimate battle deaths at nearly 15 million military personnel and civilian deaths at over 38 million.
Yeah. So in war, civilians always take it in the pants.
Yes.
I mean, that's because, the whole thing about old wars, they just bomb the fuck out of everything.
Well, yeah. I mean, what they did, like when Germany would come in, they would bomb the shit out of the place and they'd just bring in their troopers, troops.
Yeah, once war got civilized, I have no problem with civilized warfare or whatever, because that does kind of curtail civilian casualties. But if the people you're fighting aren't following the same rules, then...
Well, let's look at Hamas. I mean, they use civilian people as human shields.
Yeah, I like that one meme that showed Hamas firing at an Israeli soldier from behind a child, and the Israeli soldier was in front of the child. And that's a pretty accurate statement. Pretty accurate meme. So, I don't know. Well, that question went on for a while. Let's move on to the second question, Kevin.
Oh, is it only the first question? Damn.
Yeah. Why in the hell did Biden fly to Israel?
I think he had to.
But why? He's the only president, I think, ever, since Lincoln, that went into a war area that was not controlled and made safe by the U.S. military.
Well, I think
he's done it twice.
He did it to, I don't know, make it probably look good.
I think he did it to stall the land invasion.
He might have. I don't know why he did.
I just think it's weird.
I do too.
He's like, yeah, I went on a bullet train with really dark windows for 10 hours.
That's basically what he's talking about.
Both ways. No, that's exactly what he said in his speech, which we'll get to at the end of the show. But it's just like, yeah, that was stupid. Why did you do that?
I don't know. But I mean, he talked about walking down the streets of Ukraine with the air raid sirens on. I'm like, but I mean, that was obviously staged.
Yeah. Well, Putin's not going to. I mean, Putin's not going to fire on and kill the U.S. president because then he's like, "Oh no, the Kamala Harris is now the president. Ah, whole world's
I don't
gonna
know.
go dumb."
I don't know why he decided to call him. I mean, obviously he's been calling him, so it probably would have been good enough.
I didn't think anybody took Biden's calls.
Maybe not. Maybe that's why he went over there. No
It's like,
one's
you know what?
answering.
Why didn't you answer my calls?
Yeah.
It's like, just send me the email. I cannot stand the sound of his voice and the nonstop babbling about.
Dude, I
corn
have no
pop.
idea what he's saying, so I gotta have him here so I can actually see what the fuck he's saying.
Well, do you think going over was a good or bad idea?
I don't know. I don't think it's either. I don't think anybody really cared. I don't think they really cared.
You think it's a political thing, almost like a campaign
it's always
thing?
a political thing.
No, but
Of
like a
course.
campaign thing.
Yes, of course it is. It's always about politics. If he runs again, he can say he was the only president to go to an active war zone and
Do absolutely nothing.
and do absolutely nothing.
Yeah. So, well, do you think, as far as the world stage goes and Israel goes and all that stuff, do you think his visit was a help or harm to the situation?
Neither. I don't think either way it's going to matter. I don't, and
I would think it would probably be annoying.
I think it's more of a harm because I think at the same time he was in Israel, he pledged money to the people of Gaza. So basically, Hamas.
That's what I understand. You can't tell me that these are supposed to be adults now and intelligent people, I guess, even though everybody in Biden's cabinet is stupid. Most annoying to me is Kirby. I can't stand that guy. I fucking hate him.
Oh yeah, John Kirby.
Yeah, he is dumb.
Yeah,
I just don't like how he talks. He's like a greasy, sleazy scumbag person. I don't like him.
They all seem like they're very either dumb or I don't know,
conniving.
Yeah, they don't seem like very
capable people,
reputable people.
Yeah, I think I would think he did more harm.
I don't think he showed any fucking strong hey, support for Israel. I don't think there was any of that. I mean, it wasn't like, yeah, we got you no matter what. Let's fuck these motherfuckers up. Here's some money, Palestine.
Yeah.
Go build some rockets.
Well, that's what's stupid. Like, okay, if you want to try to get medical supplies over there, which are going to be taken to Hamas for their fighters as they're getting their ass kicked by the IDF.
And, during the speech, and we'll get into this more probably later, but he said, we'll be sending them, medical stuff, medical aid. He goes, if they're not taken by Hamas.
Yeah, but they're not going to take the $100 million.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would say that would be us contributing to terrorism like we think we have for many of decades.
Well, we just sent $6 billion to Iran to support Hamas, so.
Yeah, but they haven't touched a penny of that money yet, Kevin.
Yeah, but
it's fake news and you're spreading lies.
Okay, so if I have a loan coming in, and I have
do I need to put a CNN logo on your side?
I'm just saying, if I have some money coming in and I have an amount of money that I was going to pay a bill, but hey, I got this money for sure coming in, I'm going to spend that money on whatever I want so I can just pay the bill when I get the other money.
That's true. My problem is I'll spend that money and it turns out the other money never came in and then I was broke.
How about we just don't send that money, take that money back and give it to Israel?
That's what I don't get. You think we'll get into kind of speech later because it kind of goes into it, but the fact that they haven't, I think they're intentionally never mentioning Iran so they don't have to freeze the money. That's my thoughts, Kevin.
Well, they're not talking about Iran at all because basically we've given Iran
billions of dollars.
We gave them 80-some billion when Obama was in office.
Yeah, wasn't that part of the
nuclear trade, nuclear whatever?
I thought there's people fired because weapons. They were sending money over.
Yeah, they sent pallets of cash over.
Well, yeah, but that was their cash.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck that. Keep it.
No, we gave them money to not build nuclear.
Well, weapons. I know that, but I thought there was some people recently arrested in the government who has been siphoning money off.
Yeah. There's been spies and stuff that have been siphoning up to $40 or $50 billion.
Yeah,
over to Iran.
Yet, no. Let me go ahead and pay your higher tax rate. What are your thoughts on the media and the left's reactions to the hospital explosion in Gaza?
This is why you know the media hates the Jews. Uh,
Yeah.
Basically, what they said was, and they just took it from Hamas's word because nobody's more trustful in the truth than a terrorist. That basically
They're
Israel
religious
shot.
people, Kevin.
Yeah, super religious, and they don't lie. Basically, what they said was Israel shot a missile, hit a hospital, killed 300 to 500 people, and what really happened was Hamas shot a bunch of missiles towards Israel, and one exploded over the hospital, and a bunch of shit rained down on a parking lot and killed like maybe up 20 people. But I mean, the media's reaction was immediate, like, "Oh my god, I can't believe Israel did this." Then Rashida Tlaib, she fucking started a whole rally and went inside the Capitol building, having a goddamn rally in the middle of the Capitol building. Somehow not insurrection with actual terrorists in the fucking group that were in there, and somehow that's okay. But if you're a grandma on January 6th, that wasn't. Um, so
Did you
basically,
see that?
you just see a lot of the people on the left hate Jews, and that's it.
Did you see that? I guess news story that there's still a guy who's been in custody for 1,000 days without being arraigned yet.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, nobody seems to give a shit about that because nobody on what the asshole side ever foresees the pendulum swinging, and I hope it doesn't swing to where we're doing that back and forth to each other. But
I don't
yeah,
know.
that's
Fucking
stupid.
arrest everybody that went in the Capitol
Yeah,
building. Arrest them all.
I don't know.
I
I think
heard
it's stupid.
you weren't able to go in the Capitol building
Yeah,
and
just
hold rallies there.
I think Rashida don't give a shit about her last name should be kicked out of Congress, but
Yeah, well, she should.
whatever.
Whatever Trump gets, she should get 10 times more
I
because
would
she
agree.
incited it. I mean, she literally incited it. Trump said peacefully and patriotically.
So, did I tell you about on Jesse Waters? You know how they do the street interviews.
Uh. Oh yeah, I've seen it.
Did you see the one, this recent one where he's his guy's out there and he's asking this lady like, "What is the worst thing that Trump did?" And she said like January 6th, and like, "Oh, because his speech." And he's like, he said, "March peacefully and patriotically." And she's like, "I didn't hear that." And he's like, "Oh, did you have your TV on mute?"
Yeah, no shit.
And at the end, she's like, "You're kind of an asshole."
Well, I mean, seriously, half the people don't know it because they never show that fucking part.
Oh, like these, like all I don't know. They must have just found. Of course, this New York's probably not hard to find. All these people like, oh, Trump gets reelected. Oh, the inflation and everything gets so much worse. I'm like, because it all got better under him, so it would get
Yeah,
worse.
people are fucking stupid as fuck, and it's dumb. See, I saw an article today, or I think I saw it on Truth Social, that Cher said she would leave. She would, we're already getting this. If Trump wins again, I'm leaving America, and none of these people ever do. And I wish they all would.
Yeah,
Just
get the
get the
fuck out.
fuck out. You know,
Go to
the
Gaza
country.
Strip.
I don't want to hear your bullshit. Anyways, leave. If you don't like it here, get the fuck out.
I
Like fuck
1,000%
you.
agree. Yeah, I remember seeing like all that shit, and I thought it was like they even said because this has happened before, where most of these rockets are firing are homemade, so they fail. And they even said right away, it's like we're going to investigate, we're going to find out because the Israelis are like a pretty sophisticated, well organized military, so they're going to
Yeah, they have
know.
smart missiles. They don't
Well, and they
have.
know right away if an accident happened, they accidentally did that.
Yeah, they don't have a coffee can full of fucking gunpowder being thrown over a wall.
Yeah, it's like I just can't believe people jumped on it like that, and I don't know if anybody's walked
I
it
don't know if
back.
that's actually something people do, but I'm sure it's not.
Oh, I bet it is. Don't fact check me because I don't know.
I don't know. I just made that up. But it just seems like the type of fucking munitions one side has compared to the other.
Well, yeah. Well, they learned how to make the rockets from Iran. So we have a
Did you
third
say
strike.
Iran or Aladdin?
Iran.
I said Aladdin. I'm like,
Was
really? That
Aladdin
dude?
might have been Iranian. I don't know. I mean,
You don't
is he?
know. I don't know. I don't know
I
where
don't
the
know.
fuck. I thought he's Persian.
He's a thief.
Is Persia?
That's old world stuff.
Yeah, I thought he's Persian.
Technically, I think like the entire Middle East was Persia at one point.
Yeah, that's what I think.
A large part of it with the guy with all the jewelry.
The genie,
I don't
Jabbar.
know. See,
Is
no,
it
the guy in
Jabbar?
like 300.
Oh no, he was
Jafar was the
Persian.
bad guy. The genie was Genie. You know what? I actually like the live action Aladdin.
I haven't seen it.
It's not bad. I think Will Smith did it.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're
pretty
right.
good.
The guy from 300 was they're the Persian army. So yeah,
Yeah, he was weird.
no, he was Xerxes.
It's kind of like what the leader of our armies look like now.
Yeah,
I want to learn more about white rage.
and, a lot of piercing on.
Where's my gold nose ring? I want the chain for my last day.
I want my chain to go from my nose nostril to my nipple.
Go all the way down, baby. I call it the chain of discovery. So we have a third strike group heading to the Mediterranean Sea. Is this just another deterrent, or do you think they're actually planning on doing shit? Because the one thing I'm worried about is like him pulling an Obama red line thing.
I think it could be anything, man. I think it's going to be said to be a deterrent, but what it is the aggression in the Middle East is going to start boiling over here pretty soon.
Well, it already. I mean,
and if Lebanon and some of these other countries start attacking Israel from other countries, if there's other Hezbollah and
it's funny. You remember last week when I was
in Syria? If they start getting into this, I think we're going to have to retaliate for Israel.
I think we should retire with rain fire.
Fuck yeah. Turn into glass.
Thanos killing his own. Rain fire! Well, he's a bad guy. Never mind. Don't do that.
Well, I don't know.
Last week when I was trying to think of the third
anti-hero,
the third terrorist group. Yeah, it was Hezbollah. That's what I was thinking of.
But we said Hezbollah. Who was the third?
I know. There isn't a third. It was just Hezbollah. I was like, you know what? That's what I was thinking of. There is no third one. I corrected myself.
I'm sure there is a third one.
I have 2 corrections in this episode, Kevin. 2.
That's because you're dumb.
I am dumb.
You didn't make mistakes.
I butt my head a lot.
But I think, we have to have... It's just such a contention in the Middle East that, there's such a amount of... I don't know. Anything could happen. So... you got to be there. So I don't know. I don't know.
If we get into another war in the Middle East, we cannot do it like the last one. It sucks, but we can't have because this could lead to a world war. Because if Iran gets into it, when we go after Iran, well, Iran's tied to Russia and they're tied to China and blah 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 blah. We can't have a long, drag out, pussyfoot war.
Now you just gotta go in there, get shit done, and get the fuck out.
Yeah, and that's what I'm afraid of. I'm actually afraid that we're gonna have all these strike groups and firepower over there, and then Biden be like, "Well, I don't know if we should. What does the chocolate chip cookie say?" I wouldn't put it
past him or the Democratic Party to start a war just to try to get him reelected.
Well, why the fuck would you reelect somebody who got the U.S. into a war?
Because people feel patriotic during the beginnings of war.
You know what I don't feel patriotic for? The person that caused the war. Because all the bullshit happened in the Middle
people
East
feel
Biden's fault.
Like, if he can figure out some way, somehow, to have our strike group be fucking attacked, I wouldn't put it past us.
I would blame that on him, of course, I think, and I'm not stupid.
I wouldn't put it past him to do it ourselves just to make it look like it.
But what I'm saying is, that's not going to make me want to vote for him.
No, I'm not. I would never in a million years vote for him again anyway. So,
and just a reminder from last week,
ever.
Just make sure you let all your Democrat buddies know that all the fucked up things happening in the world today is because or lays at the feet of Democrat voters.
This the left wing altogether throughout the world.
Yeah, left wing altogether, but all the stuff because a lot of stuff going on in the world is because dumbasses voted for Biden. 83 billion people voted for Biden, Kevin.
83 billion
quadrillion people.
Mongoloids.
Mongoloids. Somehow they figured out the most secure election in history and they elected Biden. But people did vote for Biden, whether or not he got actually 83 quadrillion or not. And those people are dumb and they're at fault for everything going wrong in the country and the world.
And they're going to do it again. That's the dumber part. It's not like you're doing it, then you're just like, my life's, worse. So, let's give them another 4 years.
Well, and it sucks too because we need like one good push, like hardcore push. Okay, the problem is with the states, but to get enough people in that it doesn't even have to be conservatives or Republicans, but people that believe in the actual American spirit and the American dream, where you work for it and not be a lazy piece of dog shit that just sits around living off the teat to the government. But the problem is we have almost 50% of the people that vote in this country that live off the government and are not contributors. If you're not a contributor, unless you're retired or like legitimately disabled or something where you physically, you just can't work.
If you're able to work and you're not, you should not be able to vote.
No, you should not, because basically they're voting for themselves money.
Yeah.
It sounds like a dick, but I'm not trying to be a dick. I don't want you to not be able to vote. I want you to get a fucking job.
Get a job.
That's what I'm saying, though. I'm like, it's not that I don't want you to have a vote. I want you to get a fucking job and live on your own. So when shit goes south like it's going to, probably pretty soon, you're not the dumb asshole starving to death. You're welcome. See, I do care, Kevin.
Yeah, it's all about Karen. It's all about Karen here at the Lost Art of Common Sense.
That's right.
We do nothing but love the people.
Tough love.
Even the dumb ones.
Even the dumb ones.
And because, I don't think you people are dumb, but you're being dumb for not liking, subscribing, or sharing.
I'm just saying.
So you should be doing that. And if we get 1,000 followers on Rumble, I will.
Kevin's gonna get a tattoo on his butt. Yeah.
Well, maybe not the butt, but I'm doing our logo somewhere on my body.
The butt.
Maybe I'll do an eye patch. Like,
fuck yeah, that'd be cool.
So make sure you follow us on Rumble, especially.
That's right, because that's going to be 1,000 followers on Rumble. And Kevin will get a big old tattoo of our logo on his butt.
No, not the butt.
Tramp stamp.
Maybe the butt. No, definitely not tramp stamp. I don't know where yet.
Maybe the butt. No, maybe tramp stamp.
Maybe the arm. I don't know.
I don't know. Neck. I might get one on my calf. I don't know. Just like the show. We're entertaining and half-ass. I would fact check us sometimes. Just do your own research. Pretty informative because we do watch a lot of shit and do read a lot of stuff.
Yes. So yeah, I do read a lot of stuff. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I watch a lot of news. So it's it's a hodgepodge of information I get. Then I kind of just spew it back in my own words.
So, well, it's definitely like what everybody should do though. Never count.
This is what we do. This is an opinion show. So if you're taking all your news,
if we ever get famous or popular, and you're like, "Oh, these guys are wrong here," well, yeah, opinions are like assholes, buddy.
Yeah.
Except for unless you're like that.
And we're two big assholes.
That's right. Unless you're like that alien from Mac and Me, it didn't look like he had an asshole.
He probably didn't.
I don't think he
pooped out his mouth or his ears.
Maybe he did. Or maybe he was like, E.T., but instead of the growing finger, he's just like... It's like... Shh.
Pooping out my finger.
Gross.
And he just says, shh. Shh. Just wipes his finger on her lips.
We're having a moment. Well, let's get on to the last question. We kind of talked, but do you think that Biden will end up getting us into World War III? Do you think he'd really do that to try to get reelected, start a world war?
I don't know. I'd hate to say yes, but I'm leaning that way.
Would you hate to say yes, or you'd hate to be right?
I'd hate to be right. So, do I think he'll end up getting us into World War III? That's a tough one. He'll do something stupid. So, yes.
Yes. Here's what I think is going to happen.
And I give it a 54-46 chance.
Yeah? It's good math skills, Kevin. Well, I think he could do it. I'll tell you right now, if World War III kicks off, it's going to kick off in the Middle East. And if that happens, what's probably going to happen at the end of it is there will be a peace treaty done. And if it's a 7-year peace treaty, it's not going to really matter because we're going to have, I'm assuming during those 7 years of peace, it's going to be 7 years of, you know,
It won't be peace. I don't see a way that, like I said, unless Hamas is gone, there won't be peace.
that's one of the hard omens of the beginning of the end of days,
Well, that's
Kevin.
why I don't think we're even close because I don't
Going to be
think
7 years of tribulation.
I don't think Hamas will, unless Hamas is wiped out, Hezbollah is wiped out. I don't think Israel will ever know peace.
What the hell's that dude's name? He's really funny, and he was in The End.
Which one?
Yeah,
Give me some kind of facial description.
It's like the end of the world thing. He has to do with the Gimp mask.
Oh, what the fuck is he was?
He's fucking hilarious.
He was in G.I. Joe too, right?
Yes, he was Duke, and I really like him as an actor.
Channing Tatum.
Great. Channing Tatum. I love that guy.
Yeah,
he is great.
He was a good fucking.
I really, and this is horrible to say.
Is this a sex thing?
Yeah. Have you seen him on Bullet Train? He's even funny in that.
Yeah, he's like, "Is this a sex thing? Do you want to kill you?"
I just like that dude's great. And it sounds horrible, but if I don't make the rapture, I kind of hope he doesn't either.
Yeah.
Because then be entertained for 7 years while we're being hit with plagues and killing zombies and
absolute darkness.
Yeah. But who would be a nice comical shiny light? Channing Tatum.
Yes.
Thanks, buddy. Now get your Gimp mask back on.
Get your Gimp mask on.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like that guy.
He's funny. He is funny.
I don't know how he is in real life, but as an actor,
yeah,
that dude's fucking because he doesn't give a shit.
No, he'll do whatever.
So. But yeah, I mean, if World War III kicks off, it'll probably end in a peace treaty, and that could be the mark of the end of days, Kevin.
Or it might be the end of the world anyways because we're all nuked to death.
That's true. That wraps all my questions up on the show topic. Does the media leftist showing the asses? What did you think of Biden's address to the world, Kevin?
I don't know. Is this a plea for money?
Kind of was, yeah.
That's all it was. It's somehow tying in trying to give Ukraine more money, which, again, unless there's a goal, I don't want to give Ukraine any more money. I know it sounds shitty for the people, but I mean, I don't want to give more money to a thing to where there's no end.
Well, isn't the money up to like millions of dollars a day?
We spent trillions of dollars in Afghanistan, and we just pulled out.
And we left billions of dollars in Afghanistan.
Yeah, and we left billions of dollars there. At least Israel has a goal: destroy Hamas.
Yeah, like they're bringing on a reckoning, and the thing that pisses me off is the longer they wait to go in, like because people are stupid and the optics are bad. That's what pisses me off about Biden going over there and delaying that because that does hurt the optics of the mission.
Yeah. There's 14 American civilians currently being held hostage too.
Yeah, I mean, we should have our special forces that are specifically trained in extraction just over there murdering people. Hamas people, obviously.
I thought we had special forces over there.
We might. I mean, we've always had training and stuff with Israel and stuff like that.
I thought we sent special forces over there.
It pissed me off that he had to do. He can't. The fucker. For one thing, he never mentioned Iran, and he doesn't.
He did not.
And then he always he's trying to tie Israel with Ukraine. Ukraine happened because Biden's weak. That's why Ukraine happened. Putin invaded Russia because he saw an opportunity.
Israel happened because Hamas is a bunch of assholes.
Yeah. And yeah, Russia killed a bunch of people, but they weren't Russia, I'm assuming is for land acquisition.
Yes.
Hamas just went in to murder people.
Yeah. Putin wants to make the USSR again.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
No. He would have to take a lot of countries that are under NATO.
That brain tumor might be getting to him a little bit.
Yeah, he would have to take a bunch of countries that are under NATO. So good luck with that. I mean, Which I agree. If we signed a contract to protect countries that are under NATO and he invades NATO, you're going to get fucked.
Well, I guarantee you, if he attacked a NATO country, I would think if you were smart, our first act would be hit every single one of their nuke sites
Oh, absolutely.
that we know of, like every single one. And you can't tell me we don't have space lasers to shoot down the other ones, Kevin. All that little like intercontinental,
Maybe they painted all their
interceptor
nukes
missile
blue.
shit. Well, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Why did you tell them that, Kevin? Oh
We
man.
mentioned it last weekend. Yeah. So I don't know. The Ukraine war is just for some reason it just seems phony ish.
Well, it pisses me off that some of our taxpaying dollars went to pay the fucking pensions of the government workers.
Yeah.
And
So,
Zelensky's a douche.
yeah, I think it's $100 billion he's trying to get for both Ukraine and Israel. I think 100 billion combined, which I'm okay protecting Israel because under, and I would have to, because I know what Israel's going to use it for. They're going to use it for weapons and the Iron Dome.
Pig's blood.
Yeah. But yes, Ukraine's going to use it to pay their officials an ungodly amount of money.
And U.S. Politicians.
And U.S. politicians.
That is my little conspiracy theory about Ukraine. I'm not saying there's not a conflict going on, but the amount of money you're spending over there, it's kind of like return on your investment. We are not getting a very good return on our investment.
I don't know what we're getting in return.
Exactly. But anybody supporting Ukraine is either A, getting money from the military industrial complex, like that douchebag from Kentucky.
How many people pay taxes, you think, in America?
How many?
Yeah.
I don't know, 48%.
48%, so 330 million. Let's say 48%.
I heard 50% of the population does not pay taxes.
48%. So let's just say 330 million divided by 2. That'd be 150, 115. Say 114. So 100 billion. Yep. Got to turn the old sideways. That's too many zeros.
You don't have enough zeros for that, Kevin. He's typing numbers, ladies and gentlemen. That's what he's doing. He's thumbing his phone.
100. What did I say? 114.
Yeah. Million.
That means for just this, between these two countries, every taxpayer is paying $877 in taxes a year.
Yeah.
So everybody's just contributing. That's not the money we've already spent.
Yeah, well, that's what pisses me off. That it pisses me off that any, granted, we don't make a shit ton of money, so whatever. But it pisses me off that any of the tax dollars that pay go to anybody who is shamefully taking money they don't deserve. I'm just saying, especially Ukraine.
So
who the hell is the douchebag from Kentucky?
50% of people don't pay taxes.
Lindsey Graham. See, I think he gets his money from the industrial
war complex.
Yeah. Other ones probably get money directly back from Ukraine, but it's either or, because you see generals. Oh, we gotta keep like, no, you're getting paid by somebody.
I don't care if we send money if we can if somebody can show me where all that money goes. I want $1 down to the fucking dollar of where that money went.
I agree. I have no idea how long we're going, but I'm going to wrap this up with one more question.
Hour, maybe 50 minutes.
Maybe. I don't know. If we're under, I don't give a shit. We're so entertaining, like 15 minutes feels like an hour. Oh, wait.
That's right.
No, that's not a good thing. No, this seemed like a 5-minute podcast, Kevin. What the fuck is going on with Biden's chin?
I think he's a robot or he's a marionette doll. I'm not sure which one yet.
Seems like the tape's getting loose and it's starting to sag a little bit. It's fucking weird.
I don't know. It is weird. I think he's a robot.
And man, that dude was reading hard on that teleprompter. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think, like, when you repeat shit, do you think they repeat it on the teleprompter? Like, is he like,
no, No, I think he's trying to make sure he doesn't jumble his words.
Is he like Anchorman?
Because I think at one point he said if they go into Bulgaria or something, Russia, that we will attack Russia or something, and he was like, "No, we'll fight Russia back or something." I don't know. He said it wrong to where it sounded like we were about to invade Russia.
No, but like he repeats stuff a lot, and I'm wondering if they write that into the script. Like if he's like Ron Burgundy, and he'll literally read whatever he puts
he
they
might
put in front of him.
And he says, "Go fuck yourself, USA."
Go fuck yourself, America.
Who wrote that in there? You know he's going to read it.
It's like he'll really read whatever you put on there.
Oh yeah, I don't know. He's an old dude that sucks.
He's just trying so hard too. Like you can tell, he's like
he
was thinking about every word he was reading.
It was 8:00 there, so it's probably 2 hours past his bedtime, anyways.
I shouldn't eat them.
They're like just one extra Adderall pill, and you can fucking go to bed.
Why'd you give me the warm milk before the speech?
Yeah. Oh, I peed myself.
I'm supposed to make my boom boom and then go to bed now. You know what? And I don't feel sorry for him. He's an asshole. He's always been an asshole. He's made millions of dollars off being a politician. He's corrupt as fuck. And he's an embarrassment to the country. Just saying. Sean Hannity kind of showed his ass this week.
Why? What did he do?
He had Raga Salami or whatever on. And he was just like fucking badgering him. And then, like, the shit that he was talking crap to him about is the exact same thing Trump was. As far as, like, being a businessman and not having, the political experience. And the one thing I never liked about Sean Hannity is, like, obviously, yeah, he says he's a conservative. But he's always like, I'm not your doctor. I'm not a scientist. You just go talk to your doctor. If he wants to give you the jab, I'm not going to tell you to take the jab. I may have taken it. I may not have taken it. You should take it. You shouldn't take it. Like, that's the way he is.
Yeah.
Like, he talks out of both sides of his mouth all the fucking... I can't
all the time. No, I don't
like his radio show. I don't like his TV show.
No, when I was down in Texas and, we couldn't have our phones, so I couldn't listen to podcasts and stuff. Like, in the afternoon, it's either Sean Hannity or Dan Bongino, so I'd listen to Bongino.
Yeah, they're both kind of rough to listen to sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
Which pisses me off because I think we're more entertaining than Dan Bongino.
Yeah.
And what are you talking about?
And Sean Hannity, by far.
They're both garbage. It's like, yeah, I know karate. Maybe that's how I cut my cold cuts with my hand in the chop.
Maybe we should try to get President Trump on.
We should. Hey, you want to reach tens of people? Come on, the lost art of common sense. I'm just saying, it might help bump your campaign a bit.
Tens of people.
Well, that would imply... Well, no, if you're talking about YouTube, it would be tens of people. That would imply we have more than 20 subscribers. We would like to have more than 20 followers. We'd like to have 1,000 followers in Rumble, so people should do that.
Yeah, follow us on Rumble. I'll get a tattoo if we get 1,000.
Yeah. You got anything else you want to talk about? Yeah, I think I'm done too. I don't like doing topics pretty much the same back to back, but man, there's been a lot of fucked up shit going on.
I mean, you got to deal with this. I mean, it's been...
So the one thing I did want to bring up, and I wanted to see if you read it too and whether that was true, because it does have to do with this fallout from the anti-Israeli stuff. So apparently there's a bunch of Harvard grads that lost up their jobs because they're a bunch of anti-Semitic assholes. Yeah. Did you hear that?
Yep.
I know that Harvard's lost a couple $1 billion donors, but I heard there's a bunch of people that like graduating college. I got a job lined up, and the company like,
no, there's a bunch of them because you know who usually has a law firm. At least there's one lawyer in the law firm who's probably a Jew.
And what are you saying, Kevin?
Jewish people are smart.
All Jewish people?
No.
I was going to say, if you said all Jewish people, that would be racist.
Disproportionate. A disproportionate amount compared to...
No, I think it comes down to it all depends, what your family sets the priorities at. That's why
Yeah.
there's a
So
lot of very
basically,
smart Asian people.
yes. So basically, what happened, and that's basically it. It's just again how your culture raises you and how your family raises you is how smart you usually are. Not all the time. I mean, you can be a big dum dum and have a good family, or you can be a really smart person and have a
Well,
shitty family.
yeah, look at Fetterman.
Look at me.
That guy was dumb before the
Um,
stroke.
now I'm a big dum dum, and I had a great family.
Yeah, but I know a lot of your siblings, and two of them are smart.
What are you saying?
What? I'm gonna leave up the two smart ones up to your imagination.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know. It's deserved. They deserve to get fired. They deserve. I mean, if you're going to be anti-Semitic and try to get a job somewhere where a Jewish person is, one of
That's bad
one of the
too.
partners. I mean, what the fuck are you doing? You're an
I hope
idiot.
they can't get a job anywhere and they become hobos.
Yeah,
What the fuck is up with this anti-Semitism anyway?
I don't know.
Is it just a new fad? Oh, we're hating Jews this week.
Yeah,
Sweet.
right. I don't know.
It's weird.
Again, I don't know why the left embraces pro-Palestinian culture because they would not survive there.
No.
They're everything that the left hates.
Yeah, I think I said, well, kind of before, but the world kind of sees the current American culture as a virus or poison.
Yeah, you said that
and
before we started, so.
they want to have nothing to do with us. So I don't know, but I will wrap this episode with saying you are obviously the Fetterman of your family. And this has been another awesome, totally tubular fucking episode of the Lost Art of Common Sense. I'm Josh.
And I'm Kevin.
And this was the Lost Art of Common Sense.
Common sense!
Common sense.
Common sense!
Common sense.
I'm Fetterman!
We'll see you next week, everybody.